Om Nilambuja Shyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Panau Maha Sayaka Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham. Adorations to Lord Rama, whose complexion is like a blue lotus, who is very tender and delightful in appearance. Sita is seated on his left side, and he is carrying a powerful bow and arrow in his hands. The description is allegorical, and I have explained that description, and we continue from where we left off. In Ramcharitmanas, Balakanda, verse number 21, there are major verses are Doha and Chaupai. And then there are Chandas and Soratas. And I will not go into those. But when you hear it, you will know that there is a difference. Presently, I am reciting a Doha. Ram Nama Mani Deepa Dharu Jiha Dehari Dwar Tulsi Bhitar Bhai Rahu Jaun Chaha Siv Jiyar. Tulsidas says that if you want to have illumination internally and externally, then place the jeweled lamp of Ramanam at the threshold of your mouth, or that is on your tongue. Your tongue is as if the threshold. So whatever you utter through the tongue is impacting your external world, the world that you experience through your mind and senses, an internal world, the world that you experience led by your ego, your intellect, your sentiments. That both ways you are facing darkness. The world you experience through your mind and senses, that world is never real. It is transient. People can do nothing about it. And what's worse, they don't even think about it. What you catch day by day, happiness is constantly in the form of happiness. And every individual is like a cat, catching the rat of happiness. Bouncing day by day. That's what I'm pointing out. The external world, the world before you through your mind and senses. But also when we say the world before you, that world has no existence unless your mind and senses are effective. Utilize the mind and senses, just like you have cell phone. And the whole world is around you, but the whole world is not effective through the phone unless you activate it. So when you activate your mind and senses, then all the external world becomes real. That external world that has become real, that real term is defective. Real for whom? For human beings with a conditioned mind. That world is not exactly experienced by other animals, birds, and that you can easily understand. Human eyes see things, but culture sees more. Human nose knows about little things. Dog's nose knows more. There are animals that smell miles away things that are placed. So this is just simple illustrations that the world is a mystery. But mystery of all mysteries, the world is Brahman. God Himself. God who is described as Satchidananda, absolute existence, absolute consciousness, absolute joy. That's the reality of the world you experience through your mind and senses. That's the reality of the world you experience through your intellect and ego. The world that you consider internal, that world is Brahman, appearing as the world, your internal world. The world that you experience as external is Brahman, appearing as the external world. Siya Ram Main Sab Jag Jani. The entire world, internally and externally, they are nothing but Brahman, Rama and Sita, Brahman and Maya. And the purpose of repeating a mantra is to lead your mind to two-aspected direction. The direction towards the external world. And to understand the external world is essentially divine. But when we say external world is essentially divine, don't confine your understanding to a visual concept. Try to have broader understanding. When you say external world is divine, somebody showered abusive words at you. If you know the external world is divine, you will not be upset. And someone showered praises at you, and if you know the external world is divine, you will not go after the person. Tell me more. So we live in the world with a sense of harmony, peace, an attitude of friendliness towards all, and good-heartedness towards all. When you are living that type of life, then external world is becoming Sita Ram. Because nothing in the world is bringing to your mind something degrading, bringing to your mind something elevating. Now, likewise, when you turn your attention to your intellect, your ego, your feelings in your heart, you become trapped. Your attention stays limited to ego's concepts. You turn to the ego and say, how do you feel? And ego is a monkey, you see, it's not you. You have placed the monkey on your neck. Like and dislike, these are the legs of the monkey by which the monkey has entwined your neck. His two hands are up on your head. Two legs are entwining your neck. And you have lost your own identity. So you always look up to the monkey. How do you feel? Where should I go? Should I be miserable? Monkey says, yes. Where can I find happiness? Monkeys go to the market. As long as you are listening to the monkey ego, you are in darkness. Japa of divine name illumines the internal world. The monkey is put as a tamed monkey. Let it stay, but let it be a monkey that doesn't rule you. You rule the monkey. Have a proper order. Once you have that order, then you know who you are. All that monkey mind brings, that doesn't impact you. In deep sleep, your monkey mind moves away from you. You are free of the control of monkey mind, and see how refreshed you feel. And while you feel so refreshed and relaxed, where has the world gone? The immense world of the past. You remember not a grain of, not a particle of the past world. There is immense world of future awaits you, and have nothing to do with future. And you are well relaxed. That gives you a little glimpse of what your goal is. Your goal is not to stay with the mind, not to stay with the senses, not to be confined to the world process. Your goal is to be free of ego. And once you are beyond your ego, you are Satchidananda, absolute existence, absolute consciousness, absolute joy. In one word, you are the absolute self, Brahman. So that insight grows. I am Brahman. That's the internal world has become illumined. The whole world is Brahman. The external world is illumined. And who caused the illumination? Your little tongue. Ram, Ram, Ram. The japa starts with the tongue. Rama mantra has been introduced by Tulsidas. But the subtle implication is any mantra that you have been initiated into, any mantra according to your religious orientation, is a Rama mantra. There is no conflict. You can just use the mantra that you have. But try to understand that mantra relates to Brahman. And Brahman is the reality, internal and external. As long as you are using the mind, internal and external, these two divisions are real. When a mind is overstepped, there is neither internal nor external. Think of, easy to understand. You are watching a cinema show. As long as you are watching the show, and the show is being projected on the screen, you are seeing multiplicity of things. You are seeing someone in a house. From his point of view, there is internal. There are lots of things around his house, across his house. So, you are watching the internal and the external. You are watching the flow of time. Things that happened 20 years ago, and things that are going to happen 25 years after. They all are dramatized right before your eyes. But behind all that, the screen remains untouched. So the screen is like the reality, Brahman. And your concept of internal and external, your concept of variations of things, that is like a cinema show projected by the conditioned mind. Naam jih japi jagahi yogi, virati viranchi prapancha viyogi, brahma sukhahi anubhavahi anupa, akatha anapa nam narupa. This world which has been created by Brahma, Virati Viranchi Prapanch, the world is called Prapanch, fivefold. Sat Chit Ananda, that's the essential nature of the world. Names and forms are projections of the mind. Just like you think of the cinema show. The show is a combination of screen and projections. The screen is Satchidananda. Three are described, but three are nothing but one and the same. What is existence is consciousness. What is consciousness is bliss. And names and forms are projections of the mind. So when all the three attributes of Brahman and two attributes of the world process mixed together called prapancha, fivefold. In this prapancha, one who recites the divine name, he is led to be awakened by Tattva Gyan, the knowledge I am Brahman. That the ultimate advantage, the ultimate purpose of mantra japa, to be awakened in the day of enlightenment. To be enlightened, figuratively speaking, that's the only way you become awakened. Otherwise, you are living in a world which is like a long dream. You are never awake. And when you are awakened, the night aspect, the darkness moves away. Otherwise, you are always facing day and night, day and night. When you are enlightened, speaking figuratively, you have eternal day. There is no night. In the sun, there is no day and night. Distant from the sun, from the earth planet, there is day and night. Each day you see the sun rise. And you are afraid if sun is gone to sleep too much. Will he rise? I'm just joking, but the idea of attributing rising and setting to the sun is ignorance. The sun is not rising, not setting. Sun is just there. The illusion is creating that sense the sun rises and so many things happen. Then the day ends. The sun riding on his horses departs. In the same way, pure consciousness is like the sun. The Atma within you, that Satchidananda, is like the eternal sun. As long as you are dominated by your mind, you experience day and night, day of positivity, night of negativity, day of joy and night of sorrow. That Brahman is Anupam. There is no comparison for Brahman. You cannot say, oh, Brahman is like an elephant. I'm joking, but nothing can you, even experiences, subjective experiences, like you are very happy. You cannot point your finger. I'm so happy, I'm just like that rabbit. Happiness cannot be pointed out. But even ordinary happiness, here we are talking about eternal happiness. How can you find anything in the world that can compare with it? Any comparison is given, it's just like a childish aid given to the mind. Mind that is dull with ignorant, you are giving childish aid. Another term for Brahman is anirvachaniya, indescribable. Another word, anamaya, literally meaning diseaseless. There is no ease in this world as long as you are without enlightenment, you never live with ease. There is always dis-ease. And next terrible thing is disease. To figure that out. Two aspected trouble. You experience disease, that nothing that can give you rest, real rest. You always go into rest, but then you get out of it. Sleep gives you the maximum, but it is not enlightenment. But if you were to attain enlightenment, now you have received absolute rest, which is not known as aram, literally meaning, O Ram, come. And Ram has come. This concept of disease we will explain to you later, more in detail. The disease implies being subject to birth and death. Soul in its healthy state, called swasthya. Swa is the self. Tha is to abide. When you abide in the self, when you have the full knowledge, I am Brahman, you are really healthy. The world process is a big hospital. You continue to stay in the hospital until you are free of the disease of the world process. To give you a further understanding, not realizing I am that, you live through your mind. And mind and body, they are interrelated. So when a mind has different defects, there are three humors that go to control your physical body and its health. Mind also has three humors: sattva, rajas, tamas. Anger and hate, greed, these become the humor that upset the mind. And too much vengeance and sustained anger, that becomes another aspect, another cause of serious disease. Even sattva, I have done so many wonderful things. I'm so great. That is the result of sattva. You have always understand sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas. They are the brothers, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishana. They stay brothers until Vibhishana is kicked out. Until your sattva develops a special love for God. In general plan of the spiritual movement, increasing sattva in your personality is your first choice. And the more you do, better you are. The second, if you stay only with that sattva, your experiences are confined to the world of time and space. You can live through your whole life with great prosperity and pleasure. But that's not the goal. No matter, even though you go on living for 7 incarnations, it will end. Your cure is not in the world of birth and death. But sattva becomes super sattva when you have developed devotion to God. Simple moral of this story is, go on developing goodness in your, be good, do good. No matter how limited your effort is. Only do not get tired of being good and doing good. Bring in God within it. Each time you are good, thank God. He gave me opportunity to do this and to discover sublimer sentiments within my own heart. So, along with your goodness, a touch of God's presence begins to manifest. Then sattva moves away from the control of rajas and tamas. Then bhavavyadhi, the disease of the world that is pulling the soul into a kind of a hospital. That world doesn't pull. Rather, you escape the pull. So therefore, try to hold on to these great words. God, Brahman, that's the real I am. Anupam, incomparable. Anirvachaniya, indescribable. Anamaya, taintless and diseaseless. Brahma Sukh, the bliss of Brahman. Jana chahi gudha gati jehu, नाम जेह जपि जानहि तेऊ, साधक नाम जपहि लय लाए, होहि सिद्धानि मादिक पाए. Those people who want to gain this subtle glory of God by repeating the divine name, those who want to know, they are called jignasus. There are 4 types of bhaktas, and that topic is coming very soon. Artha, in distress. Whenever distressing situation comes, one turns to God. But when distressing situation moves away, God becomes forgotten. Those devotees are called Artha Bhakta. Then another type of devotees who worship God with great intensity for worldly attainments. You are worshipping God for success in your business, worshipping God for any type of material success and glory, then you are Artharthi Bhakta. If you worship God for understanding God, your mind becomes fascinated by the idea, let me know who am I? What's the nature of the world? And that becomes the most fascinating topic within your heart. Then you are called Jignasu Bhakta. And then if you have attained enlightenment, Kvarval Jnani Bhakta, you have no choice but to see God everywhere. I'm using figurative literature. A Jnani is not being forced that you must see God everywhere. God is the only reality for a Jnani. जाना चाहि गूढ़ गति जेऊ, नाम जेह जपि जानहि तेऊ, साधक नाम जपहि लय लाए, होहि सिद्धानि मादिक पाए. I have repeated this verse. So those people who want to know the subtle, profound meaning of name, by repeating the name, by japa, they come to realize it. That's the purpose of japa. Japa begins with your tongue. It's called Vakhari japa. Vocal repetition. The next type of repetition is called Upanshu japa. Upanshu means whispering. Next type of repetition is Manasik japa, mental. 3 stages. And that you have to understand with spiritual sensitivity. But simple meaning is you are doing any mantra like Ram, 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 or mantra Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. If you are doing like this, it's called Vakhari. If you are doing Ram, 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 hardly you hear it. Whispering Om Namah Shivaya. Recording won't pick it. That's called Upanshu. And if you are doing, nobody hears it. Not even you. Mental japa. And while japa is practiced in these 3 ways, each japa has its special effect. It works like a medicine. You do not know the operation of a medicine. But all that you do is put it in your mouth, swallow it, drink little water with it, and it goes on acting. In the same way, if you create a time daily for japa, and if you do japa of so many malas, it may seem like an external activity of mechanical nature, but it has spiritual vibrations. It has a potency in it. Because countless sages and saints have used that mantra. And their association is mingled with your mantra. So that mantra has its power. But now you come to second step. You begin to enjoy the repetition of mantra. It becomes whispering. When your sentiments are too externalized, you shout. When they become internalized, you whisper. Loving words are whispered into the ears. And if it is more intense, quiet. When heart is full, the mouth becomes dumb. Try to work out mantra japa in 3 ways. Then what I'm leading you to understand, that mantra has 2 broad stages. One, the japa goes on bringing its effect in an ordinary way. But next point, mantra chaitanya is awakened. As if the power that was sleeping in mantra suddenly wakes up. The repetition of mantras brings you in touch with God. You begin to taste an act of divine grace pouring down your nervous system. I'm giving an allegorical way. When that type of feeling enters, you know mantra chaitanya has been awakened. How awakened? That again is a big project. Mantra goes on helping you 2 ways. Dormant mantra, awakened mantra. People who are interested in gaining siddhis, worldly powers, mantra can give them. The mantra that can give you liberation. Worldly attainments are nothing. Japahi namu jana arat bahari, mitahi kusankat hohi sukari, Rama bhagat jagachari prakara, sukriti chariu anaga udara. People who turn to God due to serious adversity. The adversities come, there always you go on finding help from others. But there comes a time when you do not find anywhere any help. That state is called artha. During that state, your mind turns, oh God, you are the only one. When mind has developed that type of intensity, a miracle happens. Suddenly, divine grace works. You are led to be free from your trouble. How? That's in 1,000 miraculous ways. If you are a patient, you find a good doctor. If you are in an accident, suddenly someone so compassionate comes and helps you, even though the person is not related to you. And there are so many, and sometimes you may fall from a tower and the power of mantra may bring a whole cart full of flowers and pick you up gracefully. I'm just giving few examples. But what happens to majority of people? They have experienced the power of God, the power of mantra, power of divine grace. But the mind does not go into constant remembrance of God. And when this is the situation, then your japa is not ideal. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, there is a statement from a sage. In misery, in deep adversity, everyone turns, oh God, please, help me. Sukh mein kare na koe. But when things are going well, no one turns the mind to God. Even if someone says, repeat some mantra. He says, I don't believe in God. You may not be such a dull wit, but still, the mind does not turn to God with intensity. So the saying is, Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare no koe. In painful situation, people turn their mind to God. But in pleasant situation, no one thinks of God. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare. If you reverse this, continue remembering God in adversity, but remember God more in prosperity. Because when you are remembering God in adversity, you are under stress. Your remembrance is not enjoyable. When you are in happiness, prosperity, ask yourself, is there any trouble? Nothing. The wonderful day is before me. Now is the time. Take your mala, chew every mantra in a mystical way. Enjoy it. Draw its very sap and allow your mind to be soaked with it. Sukh mein sumiran sab kare. If you do that type by utilizing your happy conditions, dukh kahe ko hoye? Why should pain come to you? Because that is the formula for attaining liberation. Your happy moments are utilized for moving towards God. And that movement to God removes the cause of pain from the very root. So the bhaktas are 4 types. Artharthi, those who worship God because they want something from the world. And Puranas give great illustrations. A prominent illustration is of Dhruva. Dhruva's father, having married another queen, and the queen loved her own son, not Dhruva. So Dhruva didn't receive the affection of his father. And he began to turn his steps to God. Repeated mantras, etc. Originally with the idea, may I be deserving to be loved by my father. May I gain inheritance. That's called Artharthi. But when he succeeded, when Lord Vishnu comes, says, I'm pleased with you, he stays quiet and says, having seen you, I need nothing. Lord Vishnu says, you are a great bhakta. Even though you don't need anything, you are granted my blessings. You will be the king. And it is that Dhruva that shines as pole star. How does it happen? You have to figure that out. In Hindu culture, every night, most nights you see the pole star. With that pole star, all this Dhruva story starts moving into your mind. And a message that develop a Dhruva type of determination of a pole star, that I will have communion with God. Then, just like Dhruva guides countless people in old-time guidance of directions, they always turn to Dhruva for where is north. In the same way, spiritually enlightened people are the Dhruva for receiving guidance, for facing problems of life. You turn to saintly personalities. They are the pole star. And if you have turned in the right way, you find right direction. So this is an Artharthi Bhakta. Third type of Bhakta is called Jigyasu. In Bhagavad Puran, Uddhava was Krishna's friend, and his relation with Krishna was to receive knowledge of Brahman through Krishna. So with that disposition of inquiry, inquiring into who am I, with that attitude he had turned to Krishna, and he was led to enlightenment. And then there are jnanis, those who are enlightened. One famous example is of Sage Vyasa's son Shuka. Even in his young age, had attained enlightenment. As an enlightened person, he became the narrator of the stories of Bhagavad Puran to King Parikshit. I'm not going into those stories, but the idea is, whoever becomes jnani is enlightened. To the enlightened, the world doesn't exist. It's Maya, illusion, a kind of a magic. The magician alone exists, and that is Brahman. So if all duality has vanished, the mind has no choice but to become focused and absorbed in God. That's the highest type of devotion. Chahu chatur kahu naam adhara, jnani prabhu hi vishesh piyara, chahu jug chahu shruti naam prabhau, kali vishesh nahi aan upau. All the four types of devotees, they are chatur. They are very wise. Because in a world that is so transient, so illusory, whatever devotion you build up, that's your real support. And in order to build up devotion, the simple mantra, Ram, Ram, or as any mantra that you are initiated into. All four types of devotees are loved by God. Jnani Prabhu hi vishesh piyara. But one who has attained enlightenment, one who sees the entire world as God himself, he is the dearest to God. It's allegorical language. Remember, I have been reciting Lali mere lal ki jit dekhau tit lal. A devotee goes out and his mind goes on seeing glory of God reflecting in things. So wherever he turns, he sees the glory of God. But he ends up seeing the glory of God in his own heart, his own personality, his own ego. Lali dekhan main chali, I went out to look for the beauty of my beloved, and I became the beloved. That's the story. So if you are jnani, you become the beloved. We are looking for God, but as jnani, I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Such is the glory of divine name. And Tulsidas ji concludes this verse with Kali Vishesh nahi aan upau. In Kali Yuga, there is no other way out. Let me explain that point. To the masses, Yuga relates to time cycles. It is believed that the present Yuga is Kali Yuga because there are so many terrible activities, so many irrational personalities, and life has become so brittle. So any severe sadhana cannot be expected from people. No matter whatever sadhana you prescribe, person will say, I have this problem, I have that problem, I can't do it. But you can use the tongue. So no matter whatever may be your problem, reciting the divine name, if you have to lie down on your bed, if you have to adopt any special condition for your body, everything else you can't do. But reciting the name, that's the easiest. So what I'm trying to explain is that general masses believe time period. There was a time period. Time period of today is called Kali Yuga. 600 years before, don't take it literally. This is all allegorically. Sometimes before, it is people today believe that those people were so good, which is another illusion. There has been no time when people have been perfect. The world process is a hospital. And there is no time when patients are not there in the hospital. So from talking point of view, this is Kali Yuga. Prior to that, it was Dwapar Yuga. In Dwapar Yuga, demons looked like human beings and sometimes even more fashionable than human beings. In Treta Yuga, when you saw a demon, you knew it was a demon because he had horns and a terrible face. All these are allegorical. People take it literally. And that leaves you neither here nor there. Now, practical aspect of yoga is dispositions of your mind. If your mind is tamasic, full of hatred, full of distress, if you have lost your willpower completely, then you are in Kali Yuga. When you come to a little better state, then you are in Dwapar Yuga. When you come to still another state of more distinction between good and evil, you are in Treta Yuga. Go into still profounder state, you are in Satya Yuga. Satya Yuga is the state of intellect, buddhi and understanding. Treta Yuga is coming down from your buddhi level to purified ego. Dwapar Yuga is coming down from ego to the senses. Kali Yuga, you are coming to the gross experience. All the 4 types of experiences occur day by day. If you are more thoughtful, you are in Satya Yuga. You are less thoughtful, then you go into Dwapar Yuga or Treta Yuga. And you have become extremely negative, then you are in Kali Yuga. All these yugas move in your mind. But the yuga that harasses you most is Kali Yuga. How to prevent Kali Yuga? Train your mind to develop bhakti, devotion. And what's the secret of devotion? Start reciting Ram, Ram. Get initiation into mantra. Understand the power of mantra. And involve yourself to reciting mantra no matter how situations are. Sometimes mantra may seem to give you a lot of success. Sometimes mantra may seem doing nothing. But no matter how, mantra goes on, impacting in a positive way. And with this I'll conclude. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shri Ramaya Namah.